Hawaii Volcano Squad broadcasting from the Pineapple Kingdom, Pineapple Pentagon. The kingdom has been overthrown. It's a Pineapple Pentagon now. And it's early in the morning, but I have this update on the Mse Aqc Optic news, which is basically, now I'll read what I have to you. Let me punch it up real quick. I'm doing this on a Google Hangout. So it takes a minute for me to punch up all my screens. Basically, it says word from Command Arms is we do not have any more MSE sites, and I'm quoting now. The designer Mikey Hartman will be launching his new site with us late this year. So I'm assuming in time for SHOT Show, there will be at least a prototype, if not a release of it's obviously it'll be a Command Arms optic. Now Mikey Hartman works for Command Arms, and they have, if you go to the website, it's in Israel, then you click on USA sales, and but there's nothing now, but there is a new optic coming, so I'm doing celebratory backflips in my brain, because if I tried to do them myself, I would be injured. But so I'm just going to go over some related news really quick, and I think this is pretty big news because as anybody who likes the MSE Optic or who follows it or wanted to get one know, it's been slim pickings and there hasn't really been any news. So, since I reported the demise of Star Defense Systems, and so if you actually read the posts and the video description and the actual posts I made on my last MSE update, what really got me going was I was curious about is that, well, look, here's the Command Arms 2015 catalog, right? 2015. How many MSE optics are there? And if there aren't any for sale, other than the fact that, well, they had all these pictures lying around, why were all these put in the catalog? So I think everybody has been treating the MSE optic as dead. And obviously, MSE is whatever happened to the poor shareholders and corporate bondholders of Star Defense, of which MSE was a subsidiary when the stock market crashed. I mean, I can just go through you. I mean, the first question I had posted was, how come there are all these MSE optics in their catalog? I wish that was legal in Hawaii, but they banned short barrel. Or these are legal in Hawaii, these recons, but there's no stock barrel there's no stock or foregrip. So if you put one on, they'd be illegal. So anyway, but you can see all the every picture here has an MSE optic. Well, almost every picture. Here's another one. So I was just wondering before I post this, well, before we declare this whole thing dead, there's one that's not an MSE, but wait a minute, here's a new MSE, right? So before we declare it dead, how come they have all these MSE pictures, right? So, and the whole catalog is just full of, MSE optic pictures and the whole thing. Somebody went MSE optic picture taking crazy, or they're trying to set a record for Instagram MSE optics. That'd be pretty rare, remote, and obscure. So, I just wouldn't believe that this had no meaning. And so that's why I posted this link on my previous video in the video description. And so what's up is Command Arms is releasing something. I'm assuming they say by the end of the year, but as far as how development is, it could be delayed. I hope it's in time for SHOT Show. That'd be great. And so I'll just bear with me as I just go through all of the screen shares on and off on this, because everything I need to share with you guys is on different pages. So give me a second. So obviously, this is the screen share of the Star Defense Systems, which went belly up or just took a nosedive. Star Defense took a nosedive, and you can see the chart. 2000. Here was the height, and here was the demise in around 2013. By the end of 2014, so in the last year, it's been dead, and so you have to wonder. Okay, you can't do an MSE Optic, or probably that original design all by itself, because then the corporate bondholders and shareholders would, could go to a court, get an injunction, and say, "Hey, that's our Optic. What are you doing?" So this is going to be Command Arms, and he's making it a new, improved design, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what he comes up with. I'm sure it'll incorporate a lot of the old features from the former company, and while having it be a new, improved, and different design. And I only have one suggestion on the Optic, based on, I did get some feedback, and one interesting feedback I got from somebody who, I guess it was in Israel, and who did a short stint as a reservist, as almost everyone does, is that, the whole thing is that when IDF issued that tender offer for Optic, an Optic 20,000 optics, they wanted to buy to replace aging optics. Which was really weird is, well, first they, everybody had a, steel, or I mean aluminum metal hood for the Optic, and then they specified polymer, and so, like, when there was a competing Optic that came out that's by the company that makes the same IWI owned conglomerate that makes the M21, and they have like an Optic that looked a lot like an MSE, but the first like 1,000 were all metal covers, and then from then on they're polymer. And what the feedback that I got was interesting, which was weird, is that people look at the steel or aluminum billet or whatever metal covers, and it of other optics, or the optics that the IDF uses now, and when they look at a polymer, they said it looks like a toy, or it feels like it's a toy, because it's polymer, and I don't know. And so I would say this is people's perceptions and not actual what the statistics are for drop tests and how much abuse they can take in the field. But people's perceptions is that a metal hood would be somehow sturdier, and I have no idea if that's true or not. But it would seem to me that because of people's perceptions, you ought to make a polymer hood and an optional metal hood, just to deal with people's perceptions. That would be my 2 bits. And as far on Optic design, is just based on the feedback I got, is that if it's all polymer, it seems like, oh, it's just a little toy, no matter how good it is. And if it has a metal hood, then, oh, it's a serious military mil spec thing. And personally, I kind of doubt that has, I don't know the numbers or drop tests and which is more impact resistant, but that's just one thing you ought to take into consideration. But that's my 2 cents. As far as the rest of the design goes, I'm just really interested, and doing happy celebratory backflips that Hartman will be releasing a new Optic. So here's what I just wanted to. Here's a screen share. So these are some Tavor girls, and you can see they've got metal hoods on their like what M21 Meprolite or whatever optics, whatever they've got. They look like metal hoods, right? and the girls look cute, but that's what I'm basically saying. Polymer hoods versus metal hoods. It's the people's perceptions. I don't know what the on how tough they are and duty. I mean, you can see that you look at all that wear around the optics, but polymer might even be better. I don't know. Um, so moving along, you want to look at the girls for a while. They're good, but anyway, love those Tavors. I know my picture with my Tavor won't be. I don't look as young, or I'm not as good looking as those girls are. And they probably all shoot better than me too, to be honest. But so here's another screen share. So this is Mikey Hartman, and obviously he's the designer. And now I haven't made Sulcer a fortune yet, but I do have a YouTube channel, so put me on there, dude. Anyway, when this comes out, it'll be really interesting to see, and I'm guessing it'll be something will be there for SHOT Show, and you know, I'm really interested to see it. So it'll be a Command Arms optic, and I'm really stoked. So let's see what else I got for you. And I hope they have a longer fucking remote cable this time, because if there's a lot of states where we can't have short barreled rifle, or at least mine doesn't. But anyway, I have a Tavor, and since that's like one of the main battle rifles, it'd be nice if you had a remote function cable that fit it for whatever your new optic is, or even the old optic. I don't know how different it'll be. Who knows what new stuff it will incorporate, but it will be a Command Arms new optic, and I did read the breaking news right at the top. So let's see what else I've got on the way of images to screen share before I close this one down. So basically all you can do right now is get on a mailing list, right? And there's my Tavor with an Mse optic on it, with a little camo netting. The whole point is that it kind of disappears into my tiger stripe, and then if I'm in like jungles where I live in Hawaii, then I can disappear too. So just kind of show you that one. Where am I? Here I am. Yeah, so the rifle kind of disappears into the tiger stripe a little there. There I am at the range, just dealing with the range conditions or whatever. Anyway, so I think that's pretty much good news, and it is news anyway. They've got an optic coming out, and so look for it. All you can do is get on their mailing list, I guess, and they'll send you something when it comes out, but you'll hear about it either way. And oh, right. Since we're talking about red dots, it's perfect timing because the Eotech, like, breaking news. If you haven't heard in the last few days, Eotech, there's some important screen shares I got to hit you up with. Eotech has had some problems, so it looks like a great time to release a new optic, because Eotech is basically had just major disaster. Let me punch up what I can on that. Let's see. Give me a moment, guys. When you have so much stuff open, let's close this one. And all right, here we go. I have some links for the Eotech problems. Basically, they have a zero drift and parallax errors. issues, and it affects. I think it affects all their optics. The links to the specific alerts and warnings that the Strategic Operations Special Command has issued for Eotechs, which in America, basically people either get an Eotech or an aim point, I guess, if they want a red dot. That's been used by the military, and so I have so many windows here. Let me work my way over the screen share button again. All right, so here's one of the links, the safety message. Purpose of this safety of use messages to inform the operational community that the program office has identified performance issues with ECOS systems which may affect the aiming precision of these optical devices. The ECOS system's performance issues is thermal drift, which affects the point of aim of impact as operating temperature changes. And so there's basically 3 different warnings. And on the links, you can see all the charts. And this is, again, for Eotech. So I'm just saying this is a good time to release a new optic, and it really just depends how good what Mikey Hartman comes up with, and getting it built and at a price point that will work. I mean, my prediction is they will be expensive. That's an easy guess. It's an easy prediction, but they won't be cheap. And but I don't recall anybody reporting any fading reticle issues, parallax error issues, or thermal drift issues. And again, all the links are in the video description of this video. To this, let me look at one more that describes all this stuff. When you have a billion things up here, pages up to prepare for a report like this on Google Hangout, it makes it a little difficult to navigate around through all that stuff. Give me a moment. All right. Yeah, this is the one. And screen share button. All right. U.S. Strategic Command issue safety of use message for Eotech enhanced combat optical sights, plus more goings on. Right. So over the past few weeks, 3 separate issues have come to our attention regarding Eotech's line of holographic weapon sights. While we initially thought they weren't related as they came up one by one, we realized that they were all connected once we had looked into all 3. Consequently, we believe they should all be presented together along with the source documentation. And Eotech seems to have officially backed off of their previous claims regarding operational temperatures as well as parallax-free attributes. I remember Mikey Hartman saying something about the other sites not being parallax-free, but I think U.S. soldiers, when they get used to just an optic, they're just used to it. So, and, but I think since this came from, U.S. Special Operations Command, people will pay attention to it. Upon investigation, we noted that Eotech had changed the public specs for their HWS. Specifically, they published new manuals in 2015 in June. Normally, this wouldn't be a big issue in itself, but taken in conjunction with other 2 pieces of information and what was removed from the manuals, it becomes so. For example, they no longer claim that optics are parallax-free. They've also eliminated the temperature range, and obviously if you just throw it in your car in a hot day in a hot region of the world, the temperature will be hot. So Eotech didn't alert users as to, and so basically, people are either going to be switching to an aim point or something else until this shit gets fixed. And here's the level 3 communications SEC filing. And this is related just to the timing of this. It's not going to be an MSE Optic anymore. So from now on, it'll be Command Arms Optics. And so I know people that are just waiting for this to come out and they're not buying anything else. But so the last issue we'll address is actually the first one that came to our attention, and the L3 Communications, Level 3 Communications, most recent 10Q SEC quarterly filing of the August for quarter two. They mentioned the issues with the HWS, holographic weapon sight. This is a document prepared by Eotech's parent company, Level 3 Communications, advising their investors of any issues, good and bad, which might affect their investment. So these are official submissions to the government. L3 mentions recognizing an aggregate liability of $26 million in anticipation of a settlement related to product-specific matter regarding holographic weapon sight production in Warrior Systems sector of electronics systems segment. As we are unaware of any pending civil suits regarding the holographic weapons sight, the question remains as to whom Eotech might owe such a large sum of money. We point out that the government has acknowledged issues with the HWS in at least 2 SOUM from the SOF weapons PMO. Damn, that's alphabet soup. If that doesn't just make investors' minds glaze over, that's how they write that stuff. So we'd also like to mention the quarterly filing talks of possible consequences if the government is implicated in wrongdoing regarding government contracts. So, all right, putting it all together, the data was right there in the open, and let's hope they fix it. I don't see how they're going to fix it without just giving everyone a new optic that isn't fucked up, and that means they're going to have to redesign it, and I think that 26 million estimate might be a bit low. They could just buy everybody a name point. Anyway, it's a good time to release a new optic, and I just looking forward to seeing what it is, as everybody else is. So, and that's how this was related to the MSE optics. So I'll just close out by finishing looking at the catalog that made me wonder, okay, what's up? So obviously he couldn't release anything from MSE because it's dead, and its parent company, is in receivership. So to the corporate bondholders and stockholders and debt holders and God knows who else. So where is the catalog? Did I shut it down? No. Right, here it is. Let's hit the screen share button again. Right, let's go. So some fun MSE AQC porn. Start screen share. So yep, here we have it again on something. Some type of AR there, looks like. And how many more billions of MSE pictures do these guys have in their catalog? This is why I posted this on the last MSE update videos. Wait a minute. You can't buy them, but so something must be up, But anyway, so I guess it's a hurry up and wait. Welcome to the military. Here's another MSE. Hurry up and wait for the new optic, which will be Command Arms, looks like. And this is how life works in the big city. One company goes down and another company comes in, and let's hope it's better, even because it was a good optic. I mean, a lot of people like this optic, and again, like I said, it'd be great if they had a metal hooded version for people who think metal hooded versions make it mil spec for some reason. I mean, that's just people's perceptions, not the actual function of the optic. But I'm just really interested to see what new technologies uh, Colonel Hartman has integrated into a new site. All I know is I know it'll be expensive. So, you know, but given that the government just got stuck with a bunch of Eotechs that have thermal drift issues, zero drift, and aren't parallax free as promised. I mean, do you guys all remember when that first video that Hartman did, where he says, "Oh, everybody claims that these sites are parallax free, but no, 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 they aren't." And he was right. And but you know, sometimes people don't want to hear facts, but so anyway, got a lot of cool MSE porn pictures here. So I don't know. He just went MSE crazy with these pictures on the 2015 catalog. And so anyway, that's been the MSE AQC Command Arms freaking alert for what's up. They're in the pipeline. It's in the pipeline. New MSC, new Mikey Hartman Optic is in the pipeline, and because they're in the, and so is everybody else, right? And so that's freaking awesome, and good news. So just sit tight for till SHOT Show, and something else will be coming out. Right? It's in the pipeline. Yep. Hawaii Volcano Squad. I'll end this by saying that if we can't have peace, love, and understanding, which is the best thing to get, then at least let's have accuracy, precision, and victory. I'm gone.